Hey, what's up, Capricorn? Thank you so much for checking out my channel here at Reflexive Moon Tarot. My name is Sarah, and we are doing your reading for the new moon in Leo. So, we are going to do our usual start with some oracle, then we will move on to a tarot reading and conclude with affirmations. Right, so starting off with some oracle for Capricorn to set the tone. I mean, the tone for the new moon is always new moon, new month, new you, right? With, the new moon being in Leo, you may find yourself wanting to reset the ways in which you express yourself authentically. It's a great time to embrace creativity. Leo may have you, the sign Leo may have you taking into consideration your level of confidence and the ways in which you desire or already do lead the way. And, stepping into a place where you're assessing what that looks like for you and if there's anything you want to tweak or improve on, or just acknowledge that you already do amazingly. Leos are often, I feel like some type of loss, though. I just felt something you need to let go of, maybe. But let's not dwell on that. We're also going to talk about the joyfulness and playfulness that the sun sign Leo, that's a very prominent characteristic of the sun sign Leo. Oh, we got two here. That's something that you may want to embody or revisit if you've been feeling disconnected from what makes you happy. Some very powerful earth energy combined with some fiery energy. We have the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan, which is totally in alignment with, being Taurus being the cousin sign of you, earth sign. It's time to take action as well. So some type of goal that you may have, and I'm starting to feel like a gain, like we're getting somewhere with this, which is great. All right, so what is up for Capricorns for the new moon in Leo? What are the messages for Capricorn for the new moon in Leo? Oh. All right, so moving on to greener pastures for the purpose of progress, moving like a better place, a better life. Doesn't necessarily have to be a better place, just something better in your life. And it could be something that you bring to yourself as well. You don't necessarily have to leave the spot, just make it greener. You could maybe some plants, right? That definitely increases the level of oxygen in the space. But it does usually signify there is like a significant form of forward movement, and that it is somewhat collaborative. It's a small, there's 3 people in the card, so it could just be you and a bestie or a partner or a family member and a younger person. But the 6 of Pentacles indicates that it is like maybe more of a philanthropic, that's a bit of a mouthful, philanthropic endeavor. So you may be finding yourself either seeking employment at an organization that is like a charitable organization, or you may want to volunteer your time to those in need. There's so many things that that this card could mean. I would definitely say that it is about how you can incorporate charity in your world at this time. And it doesn't necessarily have to be making money donations. It could be donating your time, volunteering, and connecting with people that way. And we have the 5 of Swords reversed. The universe is telling you that no one is trying to take from you at this time. So it may be a safer cycle than you have experienced in the past. Or, you know, maybe you're just not being targeted. It's to be continued or to be discontinued, more so, I would say. No one's trying to rob you of any opportunities. It's like you're getting the okay from the universe. Now, you're struggling subconsciously to make a decision to take the plunge. Maybe you're listening too much to your inner voice telling you danger, danger. And maybe that's worked for you before, and that's a coping mechanism that has kept you safe and well up until this point. So that's good. At the same time, though, are we going to stay in that mode and allow it to limit opportunities in the future because we're trying to play it safe? So I would say connect with what you think your ancestors would want for you, with what they have worked towards, and with causes that you feel that they would have approved of you joining. I would also say that risk-taking and understanding that it is for the purpose of your own development is kind of like what you need to connect with. Maybe a willingness to take risk and try something new or different. And if that is a sore subject, thinking about what your ancestors would have wanted for you, being that and being the embodiment of that. So I don't know if that's making sense, but if you think about the fact that one day we're going to be somebody's ancestors, right? What are we fighting for? How are we behaving like we are in debt to our future, right? The world does not operate on that value for 1 second at this time. So how can we do that in even the smallest way to try to make a difference for the future generations? It's not rocket science, but there's people with rocket science power. Power to determine the types of rocket science that occurs in this world. And we got the Queen of Wands. They're not thinking that way. Those people that are funding the rocket scientists. Although I'm not saying that they shouldn't fund the rocket scientists, because science is cool. It is fucking cool. But I digress. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is a very powerful individual who oozes confidence, so much that you can pick up on it and take them for yourself without it even phasing them for 1 second. It's almost like that's their purpose, is to insert confidence within everybody in their vicinity. That's what they're doing. They're nurturing confidence. They're nurturing the idea of creating ideas, of coming up with plans, how to cultivate creative projects, how to cultivate your creative process and, document that so that you have a better understanding and can, basically track your progress. So The Queen of Wands helps you put those types of plans and activities into action. And maybe that's what you are embodying, or that could be like a person in your life that has inspired you for quite some time even. Oops. I will take that in a moment. Let's see here. We have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so the 5 and the 7 of Swords reversed. So if you're worried about what other people are going to think or say about you, have no fear, said the cat. Shout out to Dr. Seuss. All right. Now, you may end up looking like a hot mess. Who knows? I think all you need to know is that your situation is manageable and it's fixable. And, even if it may not feel like it's manageable, I would say that nobody is trying to slander you or take anything from you. So you're not at a true loss. 1 second, I'm just getting spam texted by the offspring here. Okay. All right, Ace of Swords. So, mind over matter. That is the name of this game. That's the name of this game, Capricorn, mind over matter. That is connecting with your desire to learn, connecting with, the prospect of new knowledge. All that encompasses that airy mindset. It's also lessons, the whole entire suit of swords. It's kind of about learning things sometimes, and more often than not, the hard way. It's about becoming stronger as a result of, hard lessons and, the things that change us. There's positive things that change us, but definitely, the hard lessons that we learn in life, they can either teach us how to get caught up in negative cycles, or they can teach us how to learn and grow and play it safe and become more knowledgeable. So you're basically all that I just said is what your attitude encompasses. It's just that raw mental energy that is like a sponge that, shifts and influences, but may not be completely fixed, like knowledge. There is ancient knowledge that, we've known that exists even without us knowing. Right? Sometimes knowledge is just like a shit show of social constructs, right? But it's just important to be open to ideas. And sometimes knowledge is completely bunk. Throw that baby out with the bathwater, please. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that. I love babies. Okay. The 8 of Pentacles. All right. So people see that you're a hard worker. This makes absolute sense. You are a Capricorn. You embody work ethic. You embody getting shit done, doing the tedious things even that not a lot of people are interested in doing. And you're very clever, you're very tactful, and very precise even. It's not only do you want to get the job done, you want to get the job done right. Capricorn is all about quality control and assurance. They're about understanding, risk management, and what it is to have a good business mindset, or just values with regards to your output for, career purposes, for financial gain. And your environment, that's what influences your environment, like that, like work, doing work, and also just being that type of good worker, and people recognize that. I'm surprised that the Six of Wands hasn't come through. But I would also say that, like, those types of values, having a great work ethic, that is, being in an environment where there is a great morale as well, is really, it really has a positive influence on you. So you may have some fears around disassociating, going to a place of being numb and not feeling the things. Sometimes, that's a healthy thing to do if it's a response to needing, to being overwhelmed with terrible feelings. And maybe that's what you hope for, even. How can you sort of numb out any pain that you're in, or just an inability to regulate your emotions? How can you do that? That can also be what, something that you hope for. Emotional regulation is a gift. Not everybody has that, especially if you've been traumatized and are triggered constantly. Like, that shit is not something you can think your way out of. Page of Swords. You can just think your way through it, not out of it. All right. The Page of Swords. So how are we going to learn these things? How are we going to activate this raw learning energy into a place where we can learn how to communicate effectively? Now, this could be a person in your life, a young person, or it could be somebody that's just, middle-aged and super immature. Who knows? The Page of Swords is someone who, they're a messenger. They are literally, the person who relays messages. So maybe that is somebody, maybe there's somebody that does that is significant in your life right now. Or maybe that's something that you are just doing for work, or, shout out to all the receptionists out there. Like, a lot of us have been there. It is a task to make sure that communication is operational in a workplace. That's for sure. So making sure that you're doing that too, because, we all have our own role in making sure that communication is executed effectively. And so maybe you need to learn a little bit more about what that looks like. Or there could be a young person in your life that you're about to teach that, what that looks like. So what else? I mean, the Page of Swords can be a bit stalky too. Like, they can be kind of nosy. I feel like if you're to blend Page of Swords energy with Capricorn energy, definitely. No offense, but it's like, you're happy to hear about the news. Happy to hear about what's going on in people's lives. And, it is what it is. Reversed, then it's like really stalky. But, as far as I'm concerned, my advice to people is always to uphold the value of consent comes first. If you are sharing somebody's story, ask yourself if that person gave you permission to share their story. It's as simple as that. Someone shares your story, say thank you. Thank you for sharing your story with me. Is it okay if I share that with anybody else? It is literally that fucking basic, guys. It's what we learn in university. It's a lot of thousands of dollars just to learn that. So there you go. There's some information for you. Exclusive information. All right, we have the Hierophant reversed. So, okay. I would say that if this Page of Swords is the embodiment of something that you need to learn at this time, it is to be careful who you are listening to or who you are seeking spiritual guidance from. So there's one takeaway, because this person may not be walking their talk. It is also important to, like, and if this energy is, the embodiment of you together within you, that sounds kind of weird. Accountability. How are you not being accountable? Like, are you breaching contracts in any type of way, or are you just like avoiding commitment? Where does your loyalty lie? Taurus energy is quite loyal. They're very domesticated. Like, they really value quality domestic life. So, like, when you think about bulls, they're very domesticated, and they work hard, and they just want to get fed and like have a place to live and pee and pooing, right? So, and sow their oats, right? It's like, it's simple. It's like a simple life. So are you finding yourself wanting things to be complicated too much, or are you complicating things too much when they're in actuality quite simple? And, that could be because of various reasons, like, we play shit out in our minds and it does not make sense for any kind of reason when it made the most simple sense to the next guy for no reason, right? What seems like no reason. They just made it look so fucking easy. How dare they? But you, on the other hand, need to figure it out. I would say that's what this Hierophant is saying. So just be careful who you take advice from. And know that at the end of the day, you decide what accountability is for you. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So you may find yourself in a minute feeling unhealthy or unhappy with the amount of money that you're manifesting, unhealthy with, with what you're putting in your body, with how your body's reacting to your stress levels. Like, it could be so many things. And I'm not saying that you're going to be like miserable and are dying or anything like that, because that's not what we do here. I'm just saying is that you really need to, there's going to be like just a certain level of dissatisfaction, and that, restraint and, maybe being a little bit more thrifty or a little less consuming of things. And also just like not being too idealistic, I would say. Detachment, healthy detachments. Like, I feel like Sagittarians can be dramatic, but they can also be super detached with the relationships that they have, and dramatic. And, the Sagittarian energy might be, like, that's what you want. You want the positive influence of, healthy detachment and being there for people, being a support for people, and a positive shift of, keeping the emotions flowing in a way that is like sustainable and transparent. Like the Star card is coming to my mind as well, like balancing that air energy with the fire. So what type of knowledge are you interested in fueling your fire with? That's a really fucking great question. So we got another novice card here. We have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords, the first thing that comes to my mind is emotional labor. So how are you learning how to do that sustainably? How are you learning how to care for yourself? And also, these two individuals could just be two young people in your life. Or, like, this could just be learning how to not attract players. Learning how to not be a player too, Capricorn. Like, if that's you, stop it. Just stop. I think you will. I think it's going to be, I think that restraint is going to be the name of your game soon. You're just going to really cut out some attitudes, approaches, behaviors that are not working for you. And I'm really, really happy for you. Yeah, you're just, maybe I feel like this is a situation where you are tired of coming up short in various ways. Even though you're so giving and so committed to working for the betterment of yourself and your family, and you have all the confidence in the world, you just kind of like need to take the plunge, like deep dive into that shit. And I would say that a plan is going to be the best tool that you need to utilize in the near future when you're ready to take action. And your action right now needs to be in making a plan, because logistics and scheduling and work related stuff, especially like if you're learning and working, like we have the Eight of Pentacles and we have the Page of Swords. So if you're learning and working, or if you're training, doing on-the-job training, and you have, say, things going on in your life, like you're bettering your family, or you're just working towards, a better life, I would say that, having a 5-year plan and knowing that, the journey is such a huge part of the destination, right? The destination might not be like boatloads of generational wealth, but it certainly looks like it's going to be good. Yeah. You're going to break some type of cycle. And, own your world. Own and share your world. Yeah. With these two here, owning and sharing your world. All right. So let's do some affirmations. Ooh, okay. Dance like everyone else can go fuck themselves. We cut ourselves off from joy far too often. And remember, connecting with joy is significant with this new moon in Leo. So connect with that shit. Okay, so we cut ourselves off from joy far too often because we worry what other people will think of us. Take a moment today to look around and silently tell everyone to go fuck themselves, and then dance. Now, I would just like to insert that I am not literally telling you to tell people to go fuck themselves. That may not be effective, but at least if you want, maybe think it. If you feel any kind of vibe that is antagonizing your desire to go and dance. Okay? Now, oh my gosh, look at this. Temperance. What? Okay, so here we go. We are clarifying this to the max. Now, repeat after me if you wish. I am the free flow of energy between conscious and unconscious motivation and action. I blend opposing forces or viewpoints in the right combination to achieve a healthy equilibrium. I have learned that balance is the key to joy, inner serenity, and fulfilling relationships with self and others. I have experienced the power of cooperation, negotiation, and compromise in building harmonious relationships. I integrate past and present experience, creating powerful combinations of inner and outer talents and resources. So, go out there and get those resources, Capricorn. This is such an amazing read. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. And if this resonates, please do hit that like and subscribe button. It really supports the growth of my channel. And we will catch you next time. Take care and bye for now.